Hello, everyone. Welcome to the English conversation scenario.
Scenario 30. At university. Scene 1. Before an important exam. Lisa, have you finished studying all the subjects yet? I feel like there's still so much to do, especially with everything coming up.
I'm almost done, just a few more things left. But yet, I know the feeling. Every time I finish one thing, I realize there's more to do.
Exactly. I keep reading the same things over and over, but nothing seems to stick, especially in social theory. Everything feels so abstract.
I get it. Every time I think I understand a concept, I discover there's another layer to it. But don't worry too much, you've got this.
I wish I had your confidence. I feel like I'm not retaining any of it. Every time I look at my notes, it feels like I'm reading a foreign language.
I feel the same way with some of the material, but I have a little trick that's been helping me a lot recently.
Really? What's the trick? I could definitely use it.
It sounds simple, but I've been trying to explain the concepts to myself as if I'm teaching someone else, someone who doesn't know anything about the subject. Just try to simplify everything.
That sounds interesting. So instead of trying to memorize everything, you make it easier to understand by breaking it down.
Exactly. For example, I was struggling with the concept of social communities in our social theory class. So I explained it to myself like this: imagine you live in a small village where everyone knows each other and helps one another. That really helped me understand it better.
Ah, now I get it. That's way easier to remember.
Right? Sometimes we focus too much on the details and forget the bigger picture. If you try explaining the concepts to someone else, you'll realize you understand them better yourself.
I see now. It's kind of like teaching in reverse, right?
Exactly. And it works for other subjects too. Even in math, if you explain a formula in a simple way, you'll remember how to use it.
Thanks, I'll definitely try that. I'll go over all my notes and start explaining everything to myself.
That's the spirit. It'll help you a lot. And when you can explain something to others, you'll feel way more confident.
Thank you so much, Lisa. I feel much clearer about my study plan now. I was seriously starting to panic, but now I have a clearer approach.
I'm always here to help. And don't forget to take breaks. Studying non-stop can be exhausting. Balance is key.
I've been sitting here for hours and didn't even realize it. You're right, I'll take a short break and then try the new method.
Good. And if you get stuck, just let me know. We'll always help each other.
Definitely. I'll keep you updated. Thanks again so much, Lisa. You always know how to make things easier. Scene 2, discussing the group assignment. Hey Lisa, have you finished the group assignment yet? I'm struggling a bit with the research part.
Not completely, but I've done my part. I'm still working on the conclusion, but the research part wasn't too hard. How's it going for you?
I'm stuck on finding good sources. Every time I think I've found something useful, it turns out to be irrelevant.
That can be frustrating. Have you checked out the library's online databases? They usually have some solid research papers.
I did, but I'm not sure how to narrow down the search. There's just so much to go through.
Yeah, I get that. What I usually do is use very specific keywords, so I don't get overwhelmed with too many results.
That's a good idea. I've been too general with my searches. I'll try using more focused keywords.
Also, don't forget about the citation tools on the library website. They can help you format the references correctly.
I completely forgot about those. Thanks for the reminder. I'll definitely use them.
No problem. And remember, if you need help with the analysis or interpretation of the data, I can help with that too.
Thanks, Lisa. I was actually going to ask you if you could help with the discussion section. I'm not sure how to analyze some of the findings.
Sure. I can take a look at it later. Just send me what you have, and we'll go over it together.
That would be awesome. I really appreciate your help. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Don't worry about it. We're in this together, so if you need anything else, just let me know.
I'm really grateful. It's a lot less stressful now knowing I've got someone to work through this with.
It's always good to have support. We'll make sure this assignment turns out great.
Scene 3, Chatting after class. That class was so draining. I barely kept up with the lecture.
I feel the same way. The pace was too fast, and I think I missed a lot of details.
Yeah, especially when we got to the new topic. I couldn't understand most of it.
Me too. I kept zoning out because it felt like the concepts were too abstract.
I wonder if we should review the lecture notes together. Maybe it'll make more sense if we go over it again.
I think that's a good idea. I'll go over my notes tonight and then we can meet up tomorrow to discuss them.
That sounds great. I'll also try to find some additional resources to help explain the parts I didn't get.
Good plan. I've found that watching a video or reading a simpler explanation can help clarify things a lot.
I'll check YouTube. There are a ton of educational channels that break things down into simple terms.
Exactly. There's always something out there that can explain things better. And sometimes hearing it from a different perspective helps.
Definitely. I think we need a break first, though. I've been sitting here for hours, and my brain feels fried.
I totally agree. Let's grab some coffee and take a breather before we dive into more studying.
Good call. A little caffeine and a break will help reset things.
It's important to rest the brain. If you overwork it, nothing gets absorbed.
I've been doing that a lot lately. No wonder I feel so burned out. I'll start pacing myself better.
That's a good idea. Remember, it's about consistency, not cramming all at once.
I guess I've been approaching this all wrong. I've been cramming instead of spreading it out over time.
You're not alone. A lot of people do that. But pacing yourself and taking breaks really works better in the long run.
I'll try your method. Thanks for being so patient with me, Lisa. I really need to change my study habits.
No worries, we're in this together. We'll figure it out. Let's go get that coffee.
Scene 4, Discussing the assignment. Hey Lisa, have you made any progress on the environmental assignment?
Yeah, I finished my section on the impact of pollution on health. I'm just reviewing it again to make sure everything is clear. What about you?
I've been struggling with the research. I'm having trouble finding relevant data and studies for the topic.
I had the same issue at first. What worked for me was narrowing down the topic a bit. I focused on how pollution affects children's health specifically.
That's a good idea. I've been trying to cover everything about pollution, but focusing on one aspect might make it more manageable.
Exactly. By focusing on one aspect, you can find more detailed studies and data. It also makes the assignment clearer and easier to structure.
I'll definitely try that. But what do you think about the conclusion? I'm not sure how to tie everything together.
The conclusion should summarize the key points and also give a recommendation or call to action. I plan to suggest stricter regulations and better air quality monitoring.
That sounds good. I was thinking about suggesting more awareness campaigns, but I'm not sure if it's strong enough.
Awareness campaigns are important too. Maybe we could mention them alongside the regulations, emphasizing the need for both actions.
I like that idea. I'll work on integrating both in my section. By the way, do you need help with anything else?
Actually, yeah. Could you take a look at my research section? I want to make sure it flows well before I submit it.
Of course. I'll go through it and let you know if anything needs adjusting.
Thanks so much, Max. You've been a huge help with this. I don't know what I'd do without you.
Anytime, Lisa. We're a team, after all. Let's make sure we finish strong. Scene 5, Planning for the holiday. The semester is finally over. I can't believe it. Do you have any plans for the break?
Honestly, I'm just looking forward to some time to relax. But I've been thinking about traveling. Maybe a short trip somewhere.
That sounds great. I could really use a getaway. Do you have any destinations in mind?
I've always wanted to visit the mountains, maybe somewhere quiet to disconnect and recharge. What about you?
Mountains sound amazing. I was thinking of going to the beach though. Just lying in the sun and reading a book for a few days.
That's a great idea. The beach is so relaxing. But I think I might need some nature, something a little more peaceful.
I get it. It's all about what we need right now. I need some sunshine, but you might need a peaceful escape.
Exactly. I was also thinking about going hiking or just spending time in a cabin by a lake. Somewhere peaceful with no distractions.
A cabin by a lake sounds like the perfect way to reset. Maybe we could both go to different places and share our experiences when we get back.
That sounds fun. We can each have our own adventure and then swap stories. But we should plan a few activities after the break, maybe a weekend trip together.
A weekend trip together sounds like the perfect idea. I've been wanting to go to the countryside. We can take a road trip and just enjoy the open air.
That sounds perfect. We can stop at some little towns along the way and explore. It'll be an adventure.
Exactly. No rush, just enjoying the journey. We can make a list of places to visit along the way.
I love it. A weekend getaway will be the best way to end the break and prepare for the new semester.
I'm really looking forward to it now. I think both of us need this break to recharge. And it'll be great to spend time away from school.